and welcome to Final Drive TV's coverage of the 2014 Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Series. Today we're at Buttonwillow Raceway outside of Bakersfield, California. Our racers today are going to be participating in a 2-hour enduro.
Thanks, Becky, and welcome everyone to the 2014 season opener of the Nitto Tires United States Touring Car Championship. Rick Nannini here alongside with Julio Decker, who's here as our special guest from the Costa Rica Touring Car Championship. Welcome, Julio.
Thank you very much, Rick. Really appreciate you guys having us. We're checking out your series to see if we would possibly field a couple of RX-7 for next season in the GT class.
Very nice. Well, let's get to the starting grid. Along the pole is the BTM Motorworks Porsche 911 of Brad McClure, and next to him is the Life's Good Racing Chevy Camaro of Dave Brown.
On row 2, we have Andrie Hartanto with the Supertech CT Engineering Honda S2000. Alongside him is Daniel Akhromstev with the BMW M3 Red Star Racing.
On the third row, we have Nick Romano in the N1 Racing Acura Integra. They actually had a Scion FRS they were building, but couldn't get the Scion ready in time, so instead they brought a backup car to collect some points, and here they are, and they're hoping to do really well in this long race.
And now for the touring class, on pole we have Jason Alexandridis in a BMW M3 out of the P-Tech shop. Alongside him we have Mike Seekin in another BMW M3 out of the BTM Motorworks group.
Next to him on row 2 we have Mario Lento in the Life's Good Racing Hog Brakes Mitsubishi Lancer. Alongside him we have Pete Bovenberg, the ex-champion in the MBO Motorsports Honda Civic SI.
On row 3, we have Karl Chicca with yet another BMW M3 out of the Life's Good Hawk brake pads. Alongside him, we have Kurt Simmons in another MBO Motorsport car, the Dodge SRT4.
Next row, we have Bo Borders, a newcomer to the series in the Life's Good Racing Hawk Brakes Lexus IS300. Alongside him, Ali Arsham in the GoGoGearRacing.com UTI Hyundai Genesis Coupe.
And bringing up the rear is Larry Bani in his GoGoGear.com UTI BMW M3.
And starting out of the pits, in the TNI Racing SanDisk Mazda Speed 3 is Doug Makishima. Okay, well the Chevy SS pace car has pulled off and we're getting ready to start this race. On the front row, of course, we have Dave Brown's Camaro versus Brad McClure's Porsche 911. And this race, we have an unusual start because it's going to be a flying start. Usually USTCC only does standing starts, but this race will do a flying start. Here we go, grand flag's on, and looks like the horsepower of the Camaro wins against the horsepower of the Porsche. The 8 cylinders are better than 6 apparently, and Dave Brown takes the lead going into turn 1 with the other guys on a close pursuit. But this race being with the WERC group, there's a lot of other cars in the mix in the early stages, so traffic will be crucial in the early stages. And as we go on to Dave Brown's in-car, look at that, Brad already's outsmarted Dave, made him boxed up behind a couple of cars, and 2 cars went by. Dave went from first to third in only 2 laps. But it's a long race and they can hopefully make it on. But look at that traffic! Oh man, everybody's dying. Here we are on board Jason Alexandridis. He's the touring car leader and he's trying to get by all these cars without getting hit by somebody and causing trouble. All the drivers must remain patient because after all, this is a 2-hour race. So you don't want to make a mistake and cause trouble in the first 5 seconds of the race. You want to make sure you're good 2 hours from now. Visibility is going to be tough. What do you think, Julio? Is it tough to see, you think?
Absolutely. Look at that sun. It's already in their eyes. This is crazy traffic.
Whoa,
People are going off into the dirt, and I cannot believe everybody made it through, but everybody did a clean start. So very, very key. 2 hours of racing. Definitely not going to win in the first turn here. But the passing's already begun. These guys are looking like they're getting really racy right off the bat. They think it's a sprint race. They don't care that it's a 2-hour race.
Well, I think not too many racers think about the future. I think everybody just thinks at the moment about making a pass right now, as you see right there. But hopefully they'll keep that in mind that they have to stay clean, otherwise they'll have a broken car that will not finish. And this being the first race of the season, it's a long season. So you want to make sure you collect some points after this race when you go home and not end up with a broken car on the side of the road, right?
Absolutely. It looks like Karl Chicca's all over Pete right about now. That car's got some legs on it.
Yeah, these 2 guys are sure going at it. M3 versus a Civic, and that Civic has pretty good motor in it. Look at that thing go fast, and behind the wheels, a super fast driver is Bovenberg, the ex-champion. He knows this track inside and out, and he's not a rookie by any means. So look for him to go through this traffic really quickly.
This is actually the first year Karl's getting into that M3. Last year he was driving that Camaro, so I wonder how he is dealing with that lack of horsepower compared to his Camaro, but yet that finesse handling that he's got to deal with. And sure enough, Pete definitely was able to gap him with a different division car, and was able to put some space between himself and Karl.
You know, we talked to Karl earlier in the race, and he's really happy with the M3. He likes the horsepower of the Camaro, but he says the M3 is a lot nicer handling, it's a lot easier to see out of. So he's actually really happy with the car, I think. And
whoa, look at that! Oh my God, Mario almost lost it. I was just going to make a comment how he really nicely boxed Mike in, and it was funny. I guess he was going too fast.
Wow, that four-wheel drive of that Mitsubishi Lancer came into play. I think he didn't even lift, but he's back on the road. I think he saved it, and nobody hit him, and whew, that was close. That could have been ugly right there, don't you think?
Absolutely. Did you, by the way, see that the Camaro and the Porsche are nose to tail yet again? And I think we're going to see a lot of this throughout the next 2 hours.
Yeah, you know, the beauty of this is that they're turning equal lap times, but each car has its strengths and weaknesses. So Camaro's looks like stronger in their acceleration, and the Porsche is better in their brakes. So it's going to go back and forth for about 2 hours. It might come. Oh, look at the Camaro trying to pass Daniel's M3 on the straightaway. Again, more horsepower as they pass another Mustang too. But
and Daniel hasn't gone away. He's still on the
Daniel's
outside.
Still there.
Yeah. This is going to get interesting.
These guys. I don't think these guys realize that there's still a couple hours left. But here we go. We see Daniel sticking his nose in on the inside.
And he jumps on the inside of him. This is awesome. He is going to get him because he is not going to lift. Daniel's not the time. Oh my goodness. This is great racing.
Great action. And Daniel is one of those guys who's his second year racing with USTCC, and he's already driving like a pro in the early stages here. You know, Daniel missed the race last year, and I think if he hadn't missed the race, he could have probably won the championship last year. He was that close.
Yeah, I was looking at the results. I think that win that he had did wonders for his confidence, and it definitely shows how he's definitely not taking a backseat to anybody.
For sure, that team they've changed teams. With the Red Star team, Red Star Racing team now being focused totally on him, and yeah, I think these guys have they're not scared of anybody in GT. I think last year, being beginners, they were looked on as the new kid on the block, but now everybody sees them as total threats to the GT championship. As we see,
Daniel jumped on the inside of Brad. That was a very nice pass. See if he can hold that onto that position. But again, these guys are dicing like it's an absolute sprint race, and here comes Brad again.
Side by side in the S's. Oh my God,
this is insane.
You can't do that. But nobody's told them that. They're gonna try. Wow, they gotta be careful. They're going over 100 miles an hour at that point, and they gotta be really careful. This could be that one of them could spin or get the car damaged. It could be a long day for them.
By the way, while Brad was playing around with Daniel, I think Dave decided to go and hide out there for a little bit. He put a little bit of distance between himself, and I wonder how that's going to go. Oh my God, Brad just went off. Holy cow.
Wow.
No sooner did he take over from Daniel, he gave it right back. Yeah. And that's a fast corner. That was the bus stop corner.
That was a bus stop corner, and that's a turn you have to be very careful at because
there he goes completely. Oh my goodness, he was 180 degrees.
He was doing so well. That's a second spin for Mario this week, but he's gotten away with both of them. He needs to be careful. That car has a lot of power, but it could be twitchy to drive. Apparently it is. Yeah, he's got to be careful. And now we see we go back a little bit further. This is we're on board with Larry Bandy's GoGoGear.com BMW M3 as he's chasing down his teammate Ali Arsham in the Hyundai Genesis Coupe in the yellow car you see up front. And it looks like he's going for a pass.
He jumps on the inside of him, and now he lets him by.
The two teammates don't hit each other. I'm sure they won't be happy with that. But they're going for it. As we see, we're back on board to the GT action because there's a lot of action up front between the Dave Brown's Camaro and the BMW M3 of Akhromstev. These two guys again going at it. Looks like the BMW has closed the gap to Dave Brown.
And he jumps on the inside of him. Unbelievable. Pass. Wow.
Talk about the BMW brakes. Wow.
Yeah, that was amazing. That's a heavy braking zone, and Dave knows I think more than Daniel would ever learn the next 5 years. I'm shocked that he let him jump on the inside of him.
I think it's just that Dave Brown has said that Camaro's strength is not under braking, so they run a much harder compound tire, and so I think that's probably the difference. The Yokohama slicks on that BMW, I think, are much grippier than what's on Dave Brown's car.
And here comes the horsepower of the Camaro.
On the Camaro.
He just walked him.
It must be so frustrating as a driver to work that hard, make a beautiful pass, and then see it just evaporate away when you can't do anything about it, as you see the guy just pull away.
Well, you know, Rick, to your point earlier, this is such a good formula for this GT and the touring class between the power to weight ratio. It plays into these cars just beautifully where there's different strengths and weaknesses. And here we see Daniel jump on the inside of Dave. I don't think Dave's going to let him
coming
have
up, right-hander coming
but
up.
Daniel's going to take it. This is fantastic racing. This is amazing.
Yes, and here we are about Mike Secon's BMW M3. Boy, he's going through some of the twisty sections, and he's
almost saved it. He goes around.
He goes around. Wow, that section seems like to be getting everybody as we see a replay of the action here. Whoa,
he's lucky he didn't get collected.
Exactly. Yeah, that was his teammate right there. He almost hit him in the other BMW M3.
Wow.
Wow.
So you wonder a 2-hour race if Mike's got flat spotted tires now, if that's going to play into his timing on a lap by lap basis.
For sure. Now Jason Alexandridis, meanwhile, he's driving a nice smart race. Looks like he's walking away with this one while everybody else is spinning and having problems. He seems to be having a nice quiet day, just driving away. You know, Jason changed teams for the... Oh no, Jason spins!
Rick, I think you're jinxing everybody. You should quit talking about them.
Wow.
Now, it's got to be slick out there. All that dirt getting on the track, I'm not surprised we're seeing as many spins.
You know, it's late in the day.
Aggressive.
There's been a lot of... Whoa, geez.
Holy cow. That was an almost.
Wow. There's a lot of action on the track. I don't think I want to be on the track at this point.
Daniel had to definitely take evasive action and completely, basically 4 wheels off in the dirt there.
Yeah, nice move on Daniel not to hit the other guy, but wow. Yeah, it seems like the track must be slick because everybody's having issues left and right, so hopefully these guys will settle in. Now, now, of course, what's going to happen is if it's going to be this much action and this while it's light, can you imagine what's going to be like when it gets dark?
It is going to be very, very interesting. And Mike comes in already. Apparently, that spin wasn't as...
Meanwhile, as soon as he pits, look at now Kurt Simmons in the Dodge SRT4. He's off. Wow. Has anybody not spun? and Secon got he gets a penalty for unsafe re-entry after his spin. He gets a stop and go penalty for that.
Really a shame. This is really going to hurt him. It's going to drop him right down to the bottom of the stat.
Well, his team better remind him that there's a speed limit in the pit lane, and so he doesn't want to get a second penalty. Yeah, that was not good. But it looks like he's coming on for refueling.
That was actually pretty smart of him. If you're going to be pulled in, might as well take the opportunity. It looks like the fueling is going on just fine. Again, as a 2-hour race, nobody can practically do this thing without refueling. Refueling is not required, but most of these cars are not going to have the needed...
oh no, Kurt Simmons is gone. Kurt Simmons' car is broken. No. Now, one thing that if I recall right, since you got a penalty, you can't do your refueling while you do your penalty at the same time. You need to come in again.
Rick, let me take a look. So, I got to talk about this thing. So, Doug started from the pit lane. If you notice, he wasn't on the grid, and his car seems to be going awfully slowly. Doug is one of the faster folks out there, but it does not look like that Mazda Speed 3 with the new Sanda sponsorship is doing all that well. Something must have broke on that car.
Yeah, it looks like this car is extremely fast. It's probably one of the fastest cars, but it looks like they're having some problems.
He is completely pulling in. He is not in the hot pits, folks. He is pulling in. He's pulling in the back of the pits.
You know, they had problems with this car. It's a miracle it's actually made it out there because this car actually caught on fire in qualifying. And it's amazing that they repaired it in time, but that does not look good.
Well, Rick, the sun is setting. You can see that beautiful sunset reflecting off of Pete's car and that beautiful dark blue paint job that he has. And I think right about now, everybody's about to get blinded by the lights and pretty much lose track of where the track goes. So you better have it down by now.
Well, yes, it's going to be difficult, but now the pit stops are starting now, and the GT cars which burn more gas are probably going to come in first as Akhromstev comes in for his pit stop. And the Red Star Racing team gets board to start putting gas in this car. Looks like they're checking tires, and looks like they're taking a long time to check everything.
Yeah, so I think they're taking their time because if you spill fuel, the penalty is not worth it. So the extra few seconds possibly saved by rushing, I think they're going to take it easy and looking for the longer 2-hour race. And Daniel's quite fast, so I think he's feeling pretty confident here.
Yeah, the smart thing to do would be to take it easy here and there. But wait, we have a problem with McClure. McClure's M3 pulls off the course.
Actually, his 911.
Oh, excuse me, 911. Yes,
something's going wrong. I wonder if he's run out of fuel.
He might be. This is right around the window for pit stops. And yes, he could have run out of fuel.
This is looking like he's run out of fuel, Rick. This was our pole sitter in the GT. Oh, so lonely, so beautiful in the sunset, but oh, so lonely.
Oh my God, this is not what he had in mind to start the season off. Watching, but no. Oh, wait, he's.
Oh, you know, I bet you anything the gas settled in the bottom of the tank and he's restarting and he's on vapors, folks, but you got lucky on that one.
You know, he does not have a fuel cell on this thing, so yes, you're probably right. But now that the car's settled, it probably gives him just enough gas to make it down to the pits. Let's see if it does make it to the pits, because he's actually lucky to be, that happened when he was close to the pits. So he doesn't have very far to go. He only has another quarter mile or so to go.
He's about to enter the pits, and he made it. That could have been completely disastrous. He avoided a massive delay.
If that happened a little bit farther away from the pits, he might have been totally out of this race. But he made it to the pits, and the crew's out there to get the gas in the car.
And here he is. There's the brand new crew for the BTM Porsche 911. That's a beautiful looking wrap job that they have.
That car is beautiful. Whoever designed the graphics in that thing really did a nice job.
And obviously, folks, Brad is our 2013 touring car champion.
Yes, he actually moved up. He ran a BMW M3 last year, and now he moved up to a Porsche to run in GT class this year. So they're really stepping up their game. They have a 2-car team this season, one BMW and touring, and the Porsche and GT. And it looks like a clean, possibly a clean. We'll find out later if there's any issues from the officials. But okay, here it goes. You have to watch it, because no burning rubber, no speeding in the pit lane. You can get busted for that pretty quick. The officials are always monitoring that. And now we're on board with Mario Lento in the Life's Good Racing Mitsubishi Lancer. He's in for his pit stop. They're trying to put gas in this car. This car, being a turbocharged 4-cylinder, burns a lot of fuel, so it's going to require a lot of fuel to put in this thing to go distance.
Mario's first time as far as USTCC is concerned, so I think not only is he learning a new car, but he's learning the new competitors that he is going up against. But he seems to be doing quite well. He qualified very well, and that Mitsubishi is ticking like a Swiss watch.
Yeah, they have. There are 3 rookies in the touring car class this year, and Mario is one of them. He's definitely going for the Rookie of the Year honors, as well as the overall honors, because it's got a pretty fast driver and fast car. So we'll see how that goes. But boy, that's a beautiful sight with the sun going down, and it gets darker and darker. And Brad's in again.
Brad's in again. I wonder if he spilled fuel.
He's in the penalty box.
Oh, he is in the penalty box. Folks, this is not good. You spill fuel, and they hold you there for quite a while.
5 minutes stop and go.
Brad has to be fuming in there right about
boy,
now.
He's definitely hating life at that point.
Here we are on board with Ali Arsham with his Hyundai Genesis. That car has been improving year in after year, and it seems to be very competitive this year. So looking forward to great results out of Ali this year.
And they didn't have a very good weekend so far. They didn't qualify really well. And what happened? Whoa, jeez!
Holy cow!
Oh, man, that was amazing. Where did that guy come out of?
I think Ali saw him coming. You could see him braking a little bit harder than usual while that BMW went flying by him.
Wow, that was something. That could have been a close incident. Boy, you have to really
Karl,
pay attention.
Chicca, and Brad was still sitting in the penalty box. Good Lord, this is worse than high sticking.
Now, here we are. The Karl Chicca's M3 comes in for fuel, And let's see what the Life's Good Racing does with this car. They have 4 cars in the field, the biggest team in the field, and then Dave Brown comes in, also coming in from the GT lead also.
Interesting. This is
but wait a minute now.
2 cars from the same team.
2 cars from the same
I
team.
If they have separate crews.
How are they going to do this? Yes, good question, because unless they have 2 full crews. Oh no, they're not ready. They're not ready for Dave.
No, this is gonna. Oh my God.
No, they're stacked the cars, but they only have 1 crew working on 1 car at a time.
Oh, Dave has got to be fuming.
No,
this is playing right into the hand of Daniel and Andrie.
Well, exactly. Yeah, those 2 guys are now jumping in the lead. And boy, that was a big boo-boo. Either it was a boo-boo, or they just had no choice, where Dave was going to run out of fuel, so they just had to pit him.
You know, Rick, what's interesting is, so Bo fielded an Acura just to collect some points because his FSR wasn't ready. FRS wasn't ready, I apologize. But this could actually play into his hand with these penalties. Look at Brad is still in that penalty
Brad
box.
Finally gets released from the pits. Oh man, Brad could have had time to eat a sandwich.
Absolutely, I wonder if red mist coming over him right about now. He's just got to be boiling.
I wonder if he had time to run to the bathroom after to take a little break and have a cup of coffee. Boy.
And that is one busy.
And these guys, and Karl Chicca still in the pits, and the Camaro. They haven't even started working on the Camaro, I think.
It's as if Dave Brown got a penalty without even getting a penalty.
He gave himself a penalty. Look, they're just starting to refuel now. Wow. And who's that? Oh, is that Jason Alexandridis, the leader of the touring car class behind them.
And there goes Karl.
Wow, these pit stops really separate everybody.
Did you see how fast Jason
was
wow,
fast,
that was
yes.
Very impressive.
The performance technique boys really did their great job getting that car up.
And you know, Rick, after the fact, Dave Brown's pit stop was fast once they got to him. So
exactly.
That's just a complete miss on that one. He should have been in and out. And I wonder how this is going to end up at the very tail end, if it's going to make the difference.
Right. Yeah. These guys are going to be really mad at themselves for making a mistake like that, because they basically gave themselves a penalty.
Absolutely, and as you can see, the light is practically gone, and we have
now
that
we have
BMW that went flying.
Now the one thing though, we have that BMW we saw, and we have a full course yellow because of that, because that BMW that went off in front of Arsham is now stuck out in the dirt with some broken pieces of parts, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get that car off.
You know, Rick, a couple of days ago, it rained out here. Very unusual for Central California to be getting rain this time of the year, but I wonder if that thing went off course and is stuck in the mud.
Oh, it's really possible, but you know, we saw that car. I think that car caught air, so it could have broken a bunch of parts and things too, but you never know. But it looks like it's going to take a while. But you know, this is going to really play in the hands of the guys that are planning their fuel strategy, because everybody else pitted, but then a few cars have not pitted yet, and these guys with a long yellow, full course yellow, might be able to make the distance without making a pit stop. So it's going to really make things interesting.
Very interesting.
So the race is not over yet, and if you look at the results, anybody could win this thing, because there's still a long ways to go, and it's really gotten dark now.
I was just going to say that, Rick, this is so dark. I think all we're going to say is start to call lights, because I can't see anybody anymore.
It's going to be very difficult to see who's who, but it's still a four-course yellow, and yeah, it's about a half hour left, but several cars still have not made pit stops, so it's going to be really interesting how that works out.
By the way, in this yellow, Mike Seekin got really lucky. He was actually ahead of the overall leader, so he got a basically free lap. He was allowed to go right around that pace car, while everybody else get held up. I wonder how that plays into it, if he's able to leverage that extra lap.
Yeah, this is
here we are with Dave Brown. This is classic night racing. When the lights shine and you basically just go practically blind. You're lucky if you can see anything up front, and there it is. The entire inside of his car is just lit up, and all you see is just the spot in front of you, and your entire interior all lit up just because of the lights behind you.
You know, some of these guys have these giant LED headlights on their cars, the light bars and things. These are basically like off-road racing lights, and these things are so bright that when somebody comes up behind you, they totally blind you. I mean, it's worse than somebody. It's almost like somebody is shining a light in your eyes.
And Rick, here we go. We have a green flag again. We're back to live racing, and we have everybody going full speed. This is practically another start, if you will. The field is bunched up, and I wonder how they're going to fare in the first turn. Now, remember, this time around, it's in the dark. They cannot see where the competitors are as clearly as before. And
look at Dave Brown just passing cars left and right with that horsepower, that V8 horsepower, just passing all these little cars. Wow, but he's got to be careful because you never know if these guys will see you, especially in this dark. You got to be really careful here.
And here we go, and he is coming up on, I believe that is Ali Arsham, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
it's Larry Van. He's one of those GoGoGear.com cars.
Yes, it's the Genesis that he passed by, but that was not for position as they're in different classes. But they still got to be careful not to have any boo-boos, because you wouldn't want that at this stage. With about a half hour to go, there would not be much time to do any repair.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, Rick, this is getting kind of quite chilly here up here, and I wonder if this pool is going to help these cars make some extra horsepower and give some relief to the drivers as far as being so hot in those cockpits. It might not be as hot as usual. I gotta go put a jacket on. This is getting cold.
Yeah, but you know what? These drivers are going to thank it, because come summertime when we're racing, they're going to be wishing they were so cold, because we're going to have some venues down there that are going to be absolutely hot. As we get to the rear camera of Jason here, and looks like he's just passing up a BMW. Looks like that was Larry Vanny's BMW, I think. Yeah, these guys are going. Who's that? Oh, this is on board Arsham's Hyundai Genesis Coupe. I think that's what the yellow car that we saw go by. So Arsham is one of those who has not pitted yet. So he's actually got one of the biggest fuel tanks in the series. So there's a chance that he might make it non-stop in this race. So that'll be kind of interesting if he can do that. He can maybe come out from the back, start 8th, and work his way up.
Rick, looking at these lap times, it's a tale of two races almost. It's like before that yellow flag came out, and there was some resemblance of light. There was a handful of folks that were faster than the other folks, and it's the tables have almost flipped over. It seems like the folks that have the better lighting on their cars are now able to go much quicker than the folks that don't have the lighting aspect of their car down very well. This is going to be very interesting before it's all set.
Yeah, there's a problem. Problem with the Mitsubishi of Mario Lento. He's parked it, and yes, looks like he's talking about the car on the radio.
I'm dead in the water, and I cannot move. I need a tow. I'm done.
Wow. Yep, and here comes the tow truck.
Yeah.
Wow, that car's done. So that's one car that dropped out. Wow, it's almost. Oh, there goes Larry Banning. His BMW M3. He has also not pitted yet. So at least two cars have not pitted yet in the touring class, hoping to go the distance. And with this second full course yellow to pick up the Mitsubishi, it's going to help tremendously to those two guys who have not pitted yet.
And actually, Rick, I'm looking at the rest of the track. It looks like it's just a local yellow. They haven't done a full course yellow just yet.
Oh, okay.
Might turn into one, but it looks like it's just a local so far.
Well, either way, these guys, they're going to save a little bit of gas. Oh, there comes the checkered flag. And who's going to win it? Jason in the touring car class.
Taking it.
Jason is the leader. Wow. With that beautiful fast pit stop that we saw, Jason takes it. And second place in touring is Pete Bovenberg in the MBO Motorsports Honda Civic. And Karl Chicca gets third place in the Life's Good Racing Hawk Brakes BMW M3. And in the touring class, Andrie Hartanto in the S2000 takes the win, with Dave Brown's in second place and Daniel Akhromstev in the Red Star Racing BMW M3 in third place. Brad McClure, thanks to his lengthy pit stop, jumps down to fourth place, but at least he managed to finish the race.
Here I come!